On Tuesday, November 30th, 2021, at 12:51 p.m., Oxford was hit with a tragedy. A tragedy nobody can explain. A tragedy that took the lives of 4 students, injured 6, and injured 1 teacher. A tragedy that will affect not only the entire Oxford community, but the community of the entire state of Michigan for the rest of their growing lives.
At this time, we ask for 60 seconds of silence to honor the victims, their friends, their families, and the entire community of Oxford. You are not alone, and we are standing with you the whole way through.
Today, we remember the lives that were taken too soon from us. Freshman Hannah St. Juliana, a volleyball player, basketball player, friend, daughter, and all-around smiling face. Junior Tate Meyer, a running back and a middle linebacker for the Oxford Wildcats. Wrestler, son, friend, and hero. Senior Madison Baldwin, artist, scholar student, daughter, friend, and caring soul. And senior Justin Schilling, a bowler, golfer, son, friend, always had a contagious smile and a true hero.
Those 60 seconds were for the event that changed everybody's lives forever. We ask when you go home to hug your loved ones tight. Always let them know you love them and never take anything for granted. We also ask you to please always speak up. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Our condolences go out to all those who have been affected. We thank you for your time.
Wildcats, they are here with Superintendent
Dr. Heinz.
Are you confident in our school's lockdown procedures right now?
I am confident that we have practiced our lockdown procedures and that we have staff undergoing training. I don't know if you can ever be 100% confident for something of this magnitude,
Right.
but I do feel like we are preparing, and this is something that we think about and talk about often, both at the district level and at the building level.
Okay, and then are there any future plans moving forward on more procedures?
Absolutely. So our entire district, including all employee groups, our bus drivers just went through active shooter and intruder training, and then we will have all employee groups trained by the end of this year. Now, mind you, training has already occurred. This is a refresher and new for some. We also have a plan in August to train all of our new staff that come on board with us. So they are ready and prepared. What's very important is that as staff and students, we think about the possibility. If our brains and our minds don't think about what's possible, our bodies won't follow.
Absolutely.
So as terrifying as these drills can be, it's important that we practice them.
Yeah.
So after everybody's trained, we will do tabletop exercises with local law enforcement, and that's where we will be running through scenarios. Ultimately, we would get to a district-wide drill as well. So long-term plans and short-term plans, so we are prepared if such an emergency would occur.
Okay. Today we're here with Assistant Superintendent.
I'm Pat Veely. I'm in charge of finance and operations for the district.
All right, so are there any financial ramifications moving forward?
The district has spent considerable funds on security across the district for many years. We've done this through bond projects, casino funds, Michigan State Police grants. Due to the casino funds, the district has a safety officer in place, which is a huge improvement for our district that came into place about 6 years ago. So many things you don't see, they are in place. And as part of our continuing training, as Dr. Heinz mentioned, we have a lot of financial resources that have gone to security enhancements, and we are always looking at new security enhancements.
Dr. Heinz, how has mental health been impacted by the recent events?
Mental health has been tremendously impacted for all of us. We cannot experience such an event as we have with Oxford High School, and the reality with this being so close to home that this truly could happen, that it could happen here. And so it impacts us. We're stressed, we're scared, we're uncertain, probably a little bit suspicious as we look at our surroundings. We think about the fights that we've had at school. We think about all of the tensions that have been so high already.
Right.
And then this on top of it just compounds it. So mental health is definitely impacted for our students and staff alike. And we all handle that differently. Some keep it in, some want to talk about it all the time, others just want to tuck it away and not think about it at all.
Absolutely.
But what's most important is staying together,
right,
and keeping in our routines and truly finding the person that you trust the most to have these conversations with. With COVID, the tensions that we've had nationally and even locally about disagreements that are out there, now we have this tragic event.
Right.
And remembering that we are here for each other, that this is our community, this is our safe place. And if we look out for each other and we speak up when we see things, or we notice that somebody doesn't seem like themselves, or they seem like they're really struggling, reporting that to the school.
Right.
Using those resources, not assuming that we would know, or not saying, oh, that person's just like that. It is so important that we investigate and make sure that that person is okay.
Absolutely.
And that takes all of us looking around, keeping our eyes open, and being vigilant to keep each other safe and comfortable. It's about our physical safety, but also our emotional safety.
After the recent horrific event, we've been closing the doors a lot more in the hallways during passing times or just during classes. So with the safety of the class inside the rooms with the doors shut, what about the other students outside walking around using the restroom?
The doors being shut is not a new thing. That is part of our overall security process and procedure. Classroom doors are to be shut and locked, and that is our first step out as our offense. Our defense is to make sure that our doors are locked and that we can keep intruders out. So if you are in the hallway and an emergency goes on, you want to make sure that you have a plan in place. The district is charged with trying to keep you safe, and we're going to run you through drills, and we're going to say you should do this. If you're in a fire drill or a tornado drill or a lockdown drill, but you should always have asked yourself that question: what would I do? Always think about your backup plan. If you are unsure of the backup plan in your school building, you should speak to your teacher or your administration. Go see Principal Cutler, go see Assistant Principal DeCesar. Ask somebody who's in charge and say, all right, what do I do if I'm in a hallway and there is a lockdown and it is a serious threat?
With the recent event, there's been quite a few threats. How are you guys dealing with that?
With our recent threats, we have investigated just like we always do. So anytime there's an incident or behavior that threatens the safety of others, we look and we investigate. And by investigating, that means asking a lot of questions. And if we hear a name, then we're going to ask the next person a question. And it continues until it's thoroughly investigated.
Okay.
What's also so important is our partnership with the Wayland City Police Department, and if needed, the Allegan County Sheriff's Department, and even the State Police Post. We have so many resources here at our disposal, and they're willing to help. So we make sure by partnering with them that we're not missing something on the legal side and ensuring that our students are safe.
Absolutely.
So there is not a rock unturned in these investigations, and after the investigation is done, we need to then look at the protective factors for the student in question or students, and then all of our student body. What do we need in place moving forward? Then of course there's disciplinary action. Is this school the right setting for a student? Does this student need some safety measures? Do other students need safety measures? So there's so many questions, and that's why it's not quick. So please know that these threats and any other question that comes to be, or any behavior that we wonder, is this going to impact somebody's safety in our district? we are on it. Our school administrators, your building principals, they are taking action with Mr. Miller, with our law enforcement. They're consulting with us in central office. So there's lots of things happening behind the scenes that you just don't see in the classroom.
Telling like a larger threat compared to a not a serious threat. What's the...
So that's why it's so important to investigate.
Right.
And we need law enforcement because sometimes there's home factors to decide if it's a larger threat.
Yeah.
And if at any time we feel like our district is not safe, we will shut down.
Okay.
We will go into lockdown or we will close like we've seen other school districts do. Those considerations are taken seriously.
Yep.
Just last Friday when we closed or went to remote at the middle school, that was a precautionary measure. If we were not certain or if we were not certain that our other buildings were safe, we wouldn't have kept them in school.
Closed.
Yeah,
Right.
they would have gone to remote too. So know when those decisions are made that they are thought out. And that's why the announcement didn't even come until 9 o'clock, because that's what we're doing all day long, is making those decisions and assessing our level of threat.
Yeah.
You know, that's the important piece. Is this a low level threat or is this a high threat?
Yes. What would you like to tell all the Wayland students right now?
I would like to tell all Wayland Union School students how cared for you are. You know, it sounds so cliche, but every single staff member is here for you. And it is normal to feel scared and apprehensive about everything that's happened and to feel those feelings. And if you're feeling apprehensive, it's okay. If you're feeling sad, that's okay. Grieve. Allow yourself to feel these feelings and to just go through them and to know that we're not going to feel like this forever. And we know that funerals are happening in Oxford, and we know that 4 students from Oxford High School are no longer with us. And sometimes that brings up losses that we've experienced in our lives. So know that this is not an easy time, that we will get through it, and that people are here for you. And please talk. Please share your thoughts. There's been lots of disconnect with our schedule and COVID, you know, being in and out of school last year. And so those relationships and trust and consistency was broken. But now we're here, and we're here all the time. So it's important to reach out to each other when you're struggling, and even when you're feeling good, and reaching out to an adult if you need extra support, whether that's at home or at school. You know, take care of yourself. You know, that's another cliche thing, but don't judge yourself on how you're feeling. Know that it is okay to feel however you're feeling right now, and you are so very, very cared for. We wouldn't be here without you.
Thank you.